So here we go. Um, all right, here we go. So again, I kind of worked through some of the odds. How far down did we get, guys?
We got to 22.
To 22. Okay, so here we go. All right, we're going to continue with this. All right. Now, again, we got a lot to do. So here we go. Now, we've already had a problem similar to this. So remember, when you're doing this problem, it would be -4 square root of 5 times -4 square roots of 5. All right. So when you do that, all right, you end up with 16 times 5. Now, of course, that's not the final answer, but I just want to make sure everybody understands how I got 16 times 5. Is everybody okay with 16 times 5? And then, of course, 16 times 5 is just 80. All right, any questions?
So when there's no addition or subtraction in the equation, you just multiply just -4 times -4.
Right. We say you multiply numbers together and you multiply radicals together.
Because the square root takes out the radical.
Yes, exactly. If it's the same number. You with me? And just as a refresher, if I said square root of 2 times square root of 5, that would be the square root of 10. You with me? But if it's the same, square root of 7 times square root of 7, that's 7.
How come you didn't do -4 and radical 5?
What?
How come you didn't make an equation like how we used to do it? You did -4 times -4, but we're at -4.
Because it's not addition.
Oh.
It's just multiplication. All right, we'll get to one that you're talking about in a minute. All right, how do I break down 63? And then x to the 6th and x. Square root of 9 is what?
3.
And then
X to the 3rd.
and then radical.
7x.
Exactly. Anybody have any issues yet? All right, here we go. 26. Now, there's nothing to reduce here. All right, so now I just have to multiply the top and bottom by what?
Radical 5.
Right,
Radical.
just by radical 5. And that is equal to 3 radical 10. Now I'm going to do this just for now. 4 times 5. Because radical 5 times radical 5 is 5. All right? And then that's going to be 3 radical 10 over 20. Sebastian, you okay?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Where did the 4 come from?
The problem.
Oh, sorry.
All right, here we go. 28. Now remember, on 28, this is 4 times. Now 28 breaks down to 4 times 7. Do I need to break down x to the 6th? No. Connor, now look, it's so important that you're concentrating with me, man. I'm not sure what you're doing. What do you need? Yeah, we're in the middle of reviewing. We have a test tomorrow, man. If you're parched and you're about to faint, go get some water. If not, man, this is the time you got to pay attention. One last grade, man. So here we go. Square root of 4 is what? 2. Now, there's already a 4 out in front. So you multiply. So that's 8. Now, 8x to the 3rd, radical 7. Okay? Anybody have any issues?
Do you add 4 and 4 together?
What is this sign right here? What is that?
But 4 times 4 is not good.
You do the radical.
What is the square root of 4?
2.
And 2 times 4 is? Listen, come on. I'm saying every single step as I'm going through it. Okay, yeah. I don't know what happened. I think I was typing and forgot my space here. All right, so there's no difference between these two other than you're multiplying by 6, right? So let's just get a practice in here. So this is 6, and this is, again, 4 times 7.
X is 10.
So now,
12x.
right, there you go. 12x to the 5th, radical 7.
How come you didn't do? Oh wait.
All right, 32. Now I want everybody to rewrite 32 as the square root of 5 over the square root of 3. Yes, thank you. Multiply top and bottom by radical 3. Square root of 15 over 3. Connor, is that good for you? All right. Now, I was just trying to emphasize here, you're always trying to reduce fractions. All right, so 8 over 12 can reduce to what?
2 over.
And then 21 and 14 can reduce by? Right, so it's the square root of 3 over the square root of 2. Yes,
So you just reduced 21.
that's right. I divided by 7 and divided by 7. Same thing up here, I just divided by 4 and divided by 4. Now I need to multiply the top and bottom by what? Radical 2. So now I get 2 radical 6 over what? Over 6. Because again, what is the square root of 2 times the square root of 2? 2. And then there's a 3 out there. 3 times 2. Now we're almost done.
It'll be 1 over.
Right. So it's just 1 radical 6 over 3. 1 radical 6 over 3. Any questions with that?
Wait, so use the
All right. Girls, listen, you're distracting each other right now. All right, here we go. 36. Negative 5, radical 7. Everybody okay with that? Don't forget, there's a 1 in front. All right, now here's where some of you are trying to think about. Okay? So 5 times 2, 10. Right, now we're doing the smiley face. How much is this?
Negative 4.
Then I'm doing the other smiley face. How much is that? Plus 5 radical 3. Thank you. And now I'm multiplying this, which is negative what? Negative 6. Now be careful. 10 minus 6. 4 plus, and I'm just going to write it, 1 radical 3. Sebastian, you all right with that? Connor? Cole, what?
So it says negative 4 radical 3, so you get 4 plus.
Negative 4 plus 5.
Oh, okay.
Right? This negative 4 plus 5 is 1. You with me?
How did you get negative 4? Is that one?
Then you don't know how I got 5 radical 3. Multiplying these two, the smiley faces. Come on, girl. You're multiply those two things together. And now I'm multiplying these two things together. You're distracted. Get focused. You see what I mean now? All right, come on. All right. Now, if I were you, the first thing I would do is I would type the square root of 864 on my calculator to see if that's a perfect square. All right, because I could start breaking it down, but I don't know what the square root of 864 is. What is it? So it's not a perfect square. All right, so that means we have to try to break it down. All right, so the first thing I want to do is, a number is divisible by 4 if the last two numbers are divisible by 4. So somebody take 864 and divide it by 4 and tell me what that is. No, take,
116.
so what I want you to do, so we know 864 is not a perfect square, so now I know it's divisible by 4. So take 864 and divide it by 4, you get what?
216.
4 times 216. Is everybody okay with that? Now, 216, there's another perfect square in 216. Now, if you add the digits up, if you add the digits up, they add up to 9, correct? So it must be divisible by 9. So now take 216 divided by 9. How much? 24. So look what I'm doing, guys. It's kind of annoying, but it's good. Now, is there a perfect square in 24? Yes. 4 times 9 times 4 times 6, x squared, y squared, y. There's going to be one big one on the test where you have to break it down. Is everybody okay with that right there? Now, what's the square root of 4? 2. What's the square root of 9? What's the square root of 4? What's the square root of x squared? What's the square root of y squared? And then you're left with 6y. So after all that, 12xy radical 6y. If you can do that, you're pretty good. All right, you're pretty good at the square roots. What?
Isn't there something greater that can go into
Yeah. So if I would have known, if I knew this, 144 times 6. Do that on your calculator. Yeah. Did you know 144 times 6 was 864? I'm sure you did. I'm sorry. Okay. If you knew that, you could just break it down 144 times 6. But most people don't know that. Right? And then that's just 12 radical 6, which is, guess what? The same answer. Right? That's what I'm saying. Some numbers aren't obvious. So if you can't break them down, you just try to find perfect squares that are in them. You hear me? All right, here we go. Now this is another really good problem, so I want everybody to pay attention. Does everybody see a 5? 2 5s? So this is 5 times 3, agreed? So these 2 5s come out as what? A 5. This 12 over here is what? 4 times 3. So these 2 3s come out as a what? And then what's the square root of 4? 30. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yep, and then break them down from there. It's just, to me, harder to do that, but it doesn't matter how you do it. Okay?
Wait, so what did you do with the... Did you get 3? Oh, you just get the
All right, same principle here. Oh, what?
I was kind of confused on figure 3. Actually, no,
See it now? All right, so here we go. Everybody take a look at 44. If you want, some people think it's easier just to multiply those out. I don't think that. I think 14, everybody should be able to say, well, that's just 7 times 2. Now watch. When I'm multiplying the square root of 2 and this over here, what can come out? 2. What's left behind? Minus. Now I'm going to multiply this together. What can come out? And what's left behind? That is correct. Everybody see that? All right, we got to keep moving forward. Okay, 38 or 46. 3, 4 times 7. 63 is what? 9 times 7. So now that becomes 6 radical 7 plus 3 radical 7 minus 5 radical 7. Does everybody agree with that? Sorry, guys. Here we go. Everybody okay with that? All right, let's continue on. 48. Now, this is the one where you have to go square root of 3 plus 2, square root of 3 plus 2. Good. Some of you guys are getting the hang of it. That's exactly right. 7 plus. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Everybody okay with that? All right, here we go.
How do you know, like, what order to put it in?
I don't know what you mean. How do I know what?
Like, how do you know, like, what to multiply first?
Literally, because honestly, and I'm not trying to be funny, because we've been doing it for about 6 months. Right? When we did x plus 2 times x plus 2, it's the same exact procedure. You multiply this times this, the 2 smiley faces, this times this. That's always the way it is. Every single time. What? Because there's an addition sign.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. Come on, Caroline. Look, but here's what I'm trying to tell you, though. I want your brain, look, again, this is what I'm trying to teach you, but you're just, for whatever reason, not listening to me very well. Look. You can't tell me the difference? What? You see what I'm saying? I promise you, if you listen, you're thinking about other things. Yes, I know. You're not concentrating on this. Don't multitask. All right, here we go. What can I reduce? So this is just the square root of 3 over 3 radical 2. Do you agree with that? Multiply the top and bottom by radical 2. So I get square root of 6 over what?
Wait, no, 3, no, 6.
6. Thank you very much. Take a look at that. Just throw it in the garbage out. Thank you, Julian, though. Try to hurry up, though, Julian, okay? Because you're missing a good lesson. Somebody else. Say it again.
Oh, there we go.
It's all right. Everybody okay? Here we go. Again, we can reduce what?
Wait, so what if you...
No. Tell me what's your question?
wait.
All right, so 52. On 52, listen, you can reduce, cross-reduce, just like normal fractions. This is a 1. This becomes a what? 3. This is a 1. This is a... So I'm left with just the square root of 3 times the square root of 3, which is 3. That's it. That's how easy that was. What?
Can you go back to... where did the 5s go?
I don't know what you mean. Where did the 5s go?
It was 5 radical 3, and then that's just, you change it to radical.
Seriously? If I ask you 5/15, you don't know what to do on that? Shh. That's the same thing I'm telling her. You guys are just, it's just, there's just fractions. All right, here we go. Now I've asked you a bunch of times, what's the largest perfect square in 72? Who remembers? Nope. What was it? Not 9. 36 and 2. Wow, good job. 36 times 2. If you choose 9 and 8, is that okay? Yep, you're just going to have to break down what? 8. That's it. It's not a big deal. I'm just telling you 72 we use a bunch. All right? And then x to the 16th, y to the 8th, and y. And I use this on the test a lot because 9 most people think is 3. But you can't divide 9 by 2. All right? So now, -4 times 6, x to the 8th, y to the 4th, 2y. -24, x to the 8th, y to the 4th, square root 2y. Is everybody okay with that? Everybody okay? All right. Okay, now I'm good. All right. Now we got to start with these. All right. Now, this is one we haven't reviewed, so we still got work to do. Square both sides. Now, who can tell me what 4 radical 3 squared is? 16 times 3, correct? Is everybody okay with that? And so now that one's kind of easy. X is equal to what? 48. Everybody okay with that? Now I'm just going to put this one over here so we can see it better. All right, now remember you have to isolate the radical. So to isolate the radical, I have to subtract 4 from both sides. Negative radical 2y is equal to -6. Everybody agree with that? What? Shh. What? Oh, I don't know why. Thank you, Smarty Pants. So negative square root 2y equals what? Yeah, -8. Thank you. Now, what can I do to the two negatives?
You can
Yeah, they cancel. That's right. Because technically you're dividing by -1. Right? So we want the isolate. So it's square root 2y equals 8, right? And now, squaring both sides, 2y equals 64. So y is equal to what? Y equals 32. Everybody okay with that? All right, let's check out this guy. Okay, I'm going to highlight number 6 and bring it over here. So what do I have to do to both sides here, guys? That's already isolated, so you have to square. Now, be careful. M minus 5 equals 40 what? 48, right? Because we already did the problem. Now I have to do what to both sides? Add 5. So M equals 53. Everybody good? All right, let's check out number 8. Okay, what do I have to do on number 8 first? Subtract 2. Square root 3j minus 11 equals 7. Now what do I do? Square both sides. 3j minus 11 equals 49, right? Everybody okay with that? So now 3j equals 60. Bless you. So j equals 20. Connor, you still with me? Okay, come on. I need you to do good tomorrow. Julian, you all right? Will? All right, here we go. Let's check out 10 now. For number 10, what do I have to do to both sides? Yep, add 4 to both sides. Okay, so when we add 4 to both sides, I end up with the square root of 3d over 5 equals what? 6. Then you square both sides, exactly. So you end up with 3d over 5 equals what? 36. Then you multiply by the reciprocal. 5 over 3. So D is equal to, wait a minute, 36 divided by 3 is 12. 12 times 5 is 60. Everybody agree? It's easier to divide first. Easier to divide first. Everybody okay with this? Yeah. 36 divided by 3 is what? 12 times 5. See what I'm saying? Yeah, it makes a big difference when you're concentrating. Yeah, because those cancel and those cancel.
Oh, okay.
Right? Carly, what? Come on, girl. Now that you're concentrating, what?
I don't really see where it cancels. Like,
3 divided by
for the other side.
36 divided by 3. What's that? 36 divided by 3.
No.
That's why your calculator's there. Do 36 divided by 3 if you can't do that.
12.
Times 5. That's what I'm saying. You have a calculator there. All right, here we go. Now I'm on number 12. Very, very important problem on number 12. So everybody see it's no solution? Because when you subtract 6, you're going to end up with the square root of 5r over 6 equals negative 8. Come on, make yourself a note. Can a radical equal a negative? Can a radical equal a negative? No. The answer for number 12 is no solution. All right. Now, there's going to be one of these on the test tomorrow. All right, one of those on the test. All right. Where you get a quadratic, then you got to factor it, then you got to decide if it's a solution. All right. So please stay with me now for question number 14. Yep. I'm going to bring it down here so we can see it. All right, here we go. So I have to square both sides. So 15 minus 2x equals x squared. Does everybody agree? So now I want to set it equal to 0. So x squared plus 2x minus 15 equals 0. So now I'm factoring. You with me on this? So x could equal negative 5 or 3. Does it work for negative 5? No, because it would be equal to a negative. So make yourself aware, can't be negative. And then 3 will work. You just plug them in to see if they work, honestly. X. So like look up here. So the square root of 15 minus 2 times negative 5. Does that equal negative 5? Then you plug 3 in. That's how you tell. All right. Nice to have you back, Sebastian. All right. Now I'm looking at, let's knock out 16. Oh, 16's the hard one. Got to square both sides. Come on now, this one's the hard one. If you can do this one, everything's easy. So the square and the square root do what to each other? Cancel. 17 minus k. Now you have to square that. So remember, when you square k minus 5, you got to go k minus 5 times k minus 5, which is k squared minus 5k minus 5k plus 25. 17 minus k equals k squared minus 10k plus 25. Anybody have any issues with that so far? Now it's quadratic, so you got to set the quadratic equal to 0. So 0 equals k squared minus 9k and then that would be plus 8. Thank you. Now that factors into k minus 8, k minus 1. So k is equal to 8, or k is equal to 1. But can it be 1? No, because 1 minus 5 would be a negative. Does everybody hear me? So this is no solution here for this guy. All right? Is everybody with me? Listen, guys, I appreciate it today. All right? Because Friday was not as good. All right? I'll have all the videos and I'll have the solutions posted. All right? Especially the blast ones. Please do a study tonight. Go over it. It's probably going to be the left side, the odds. I'm just going to go down and make different problems for all the odds. Same number, same type, different numbers. All right, good job, guys.